Hi, and welcome to It's Going to Get Stupid, your favorite pop culture podcast. My name's Jose.
I'm Richard.
And we're today going to talk to... Why did I say it like that? I can never get that line right. It doesn't work. We're today. We are today.
We're the future.
We're also tomorrow. We're every day.
There were songs about us being the future.
Time is a construct. Anyway, today we are going to talk about a hot contested battle right now. Part of that is... There's a couple movies that DC has put out that I've actually enjoyed, Richard.
Yep. And I would agree.
It went against all like nature. When I came out of the theater, I was like, is this like an alternate universe or something? Yeah. And the last MCU movie I watched, I didn't particularly like it as much. So I wanted to talk Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So today I wanted to talk about the DCEU versus the MCU. What's on there?
The change in the tides.
Well, just to see, because it's like there's a battle going on right now. Yeah. Who knows who's going to win? I think everybody thinks that MCU is going to win for sure, that Marvel's going to win because they got a good track record, man.
Yeah, but honestly,
before we start,
yeah, okay, all right.
If you have an opinion about this, which everyone does,
look at you.
I know, right?
I'm proud.
You can email us at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
You can find us on Twitter at IGTGS Show.
You can book the faces at facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid.
You can send us pictures on Instagram at itsgoingtogetstupid.
You can do something. What's the other thing? I don't know what the Twitch thing is.
Okay. So
it's not Twitch, it's YouTube now.
We're trying a few things out, and right now we're actually streaming to YouTube. So the last two episodes we streamed to Twitch, but I don't know if our audience is actually going to be there. So
let us know.
Send
us an email or Facebook. But hey, we're on YouTube. Yeah. Just type in "It's Going to Get Stupid." And you'll see a live link right there.
Maybe.
Already see the past
I don't know. Check our Facebook page.
No, you did. It showed up for me when I did. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
From experience. And right now, if you call us and we're live, 281-698-7538, we'll pick up the phone and talk to you. We'll interrupt the whole show just to talk
Holly's
to you.
tried to call like 2 times.
Other than Holly. Sorry, Holly. We're not going to talk to you because you're downstairs. Anyway. So, continue. Yeah, so the DCEU.
I lost my train of thought.
You
interrupted me.
I'm sorry. I had to. So I'm looking at the box office numbers right now.
I know where I was going to go.
Go ahead.
Okay. So after Endgame, we start phase 4.
Yes.
Right. And honestly, with the plans for the Eternals in those movies, I don't know that I really care.
I don't care about the Eternals at all.
Right.
But maybe they'll make it cool. Because honestly, a lot of people didn't care about the Guardians of the Galaxy.
100%.
That was like a joke. Like, think about when that
people.
first came out, my buddy, Steve, he was like, hey, this is going to be great. The Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, who the heck are the Guardians of the Galaxy? Yeah. Like, I never heard of them. And he's like, one of them was talking raccoon. I was like, you haven't sold me on anything. You've made it even worse. One's a tree. Okay, you're going in the wrong direction. Please go somewhere else. Yeah. But it worked, and it was really good. And when I read the Guardians of the Galaxy
Except for that stupid dance battle.
I mean, it was okay. It was
stupid.
It was stupid.
Dance battle.
It wasn't like amazingly good, but it's surprisingly, right? Even Thor as a character at that time, he was goofy.
100%.
So I think they're doing a good thing of, they've had a few missteps with some of this space stuff, right? One of them is not necessarily space stuff, but Inhumans. That was a big, dud, right? But that's not even a movie. That was like they did the right thing by not making it a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going to go after this. If they're going to, because there's people have thrown out stuff like Skrull invasion, which is definitely not going to happen at all because the Skrulls are old grandfathers, are fun uncles. I'm sorry, they're funkles.
Uncle Talos.
Yeah, Uncle Talos.
Silly old Uncle Talos.
Oh gosh. Anyway,
that's not a cat.
Stupid. Oh, it's so frustrating. Anyway, they may do something like Secret Wars. Is that? I think I heard something like that. But I don't know if they're gonna do something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, there's a bunch of stuff that they could do. Yeah. Battle World, Asgard going into Siege storyline. Yeah, there's a couple other storylines that come out that they probably.
Well, there's like Battle of the Realms right now.
Yeah. Or what would be amazing, and I'm rooting for Avengers versus X-Men.
That'd be great.
That would be awesome.
But we're not going to see X-Men for like 5 more years.
You think so?
Yeah,
5 more years.
That's what Feige said.
Okay.
Yeah.
They can put movies up honestly, that kind of goes in the timeline. Think about it.
Yeah.
They could set that up from the very beginning. And what he means is there's no standalone X-Men movies.
Right.
Right. So you could be putting X-Men in this whole
I mean, we did
time.
already have Quicksilver.
You could be weaving them in, getting ready to where the X-Men have their movie, and then it's AV versus X, AVX, what they called it. I thought that was a really good storyline.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of places they can go. Now, if you look at DCEU, they were going one way, and then they just said,
and it was terrible.
They said, "Forget this is not working.
Yeah.
Let's just start over again." And they started making just standalone movies that were really good.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've heard from other people they don't like Aquaman. They think it's dumb. They think it's goofy.
Aquaman was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It was what it was supposed to be.
It was a great blockbuster action movie.
Yeah.
I think it should have been released later in the summer.
Yes. Well, no. I honestly, December is now becoming that.
Okay. So this is really confusing for me because so the movie that we're going to talk about today, Shazam, right? Which was 100% a Christmas movie.
Came out
released in March. And then you have Aquaman that was 100% a summer blockbuster movie released in December.
Well, I think, we talked about this before where the disruption has been happening where there is no more summer blockbuster. Even though there are. Like in the summer, they put big movies there, but there's no more summer blockbuster.
Right.
There are March blockbusters. There are obviously, May blockbusters and April blockbusters now. It's just, they just put big movies out wherever the heck they want.
Right.
I mean, obviously there's a schedule to it in their head, but I mean, Christmas was a big time. But it used to be family movies, Mary Poppins would be there, which Mary Poppins was there this year.
Yeah.
But now they're just like, hey, let's just put Star Wars in there.
Well, then every September, October, you'd have the horror fest, right? Like all the horror.
Now horror's they don't care the whole year. They don't even care. It's like we'll put a horror movie in the middle of the
Christmas.
Year. Yeah.
Krampus.
That's not Christmas related.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah,
I do think they were released out of order. I think Shazam should have been released in December, and I think Aquaman should have come out now, like May.
Well, I think they really didn't want it going up again anywhere near Endgame.
Yeah,
and I think that's smart. I think it was a good time because it made a crap ton of money.
It did.
It made a crap ton of money.
Aquaman was fun. I think that Jason Momoa is just so much of a. Now, I will say this. On paper, Jason Momoa is like a keg drinking. I didn't say beer drinking because I would fully believe he drinks straight out of a keg. Like he just pops the top of the keg open. Not like he sprays it in his mouth. Like he just pops it open like a beer can and drinks straight out of the keg. Like he's that guy. Like he's just a party animal. Like when he like I've said before, when he literally walked into the set and he was like, "Yeah," I feel like that was actually him. Yeah. Like that's his first reaction. They're like, "Hey, we were rolling, right? Okay, let's just put that in the film." But it was a fun movie.
Yeah,
it was a fun movie. I've since researched a little bit more of Jason Momoa, and there's a lot of layers to him.
Really?
There's a lot of layers to him.
Oh, I think he's a phenomenal actor, honestly.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm going to say he's an interesting person.
I mean, what I mean is that he's like The Rock, okay? The Rock is The Rock.
Let's take it easy.
The Rock is The Rock. I mean, The Rock is always The Rock. Am I not right?
No. You're right. I just think they're at a different caliber.
I think they're a different stage in there.
Okay,
I think they're
that's fair enough. The Rock is a much more polished version.
He's like Tooth Fairy Rock, okay?
Yes. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Tooth Fairy?
Or like Walk
the Line Rock.
No,
Rundown.
That's Walking. Yeah, the Rundown.
The Rundown.
He's kind of the Rundown.
Rundown was good. Rundown was good. See,
yeah.
I'm telling you, The Rock was always good. Okay,
Yeah.
we just didn't appreciate The Rock.
Yeah.
Okay, now we appreciate The Rock.
Yeah.
And he's a little too insane.
I get a lot of flack for liking The Rock so much.
I love The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock's. I mean, see, here's the thing about actors that are like, and you know who else is like this? Vin Diesel's like this too. And Vin Diesel is honestly a very good actor, and he's very intelligent.
Have you seen Triple X?
But look, you put him in that kind of movie, what do you expect from him, right?
Yeah.
But I've seen him in other things. I've seen him act like Boiler Room. There's some scenes where he's
Boiler Room, he's good.
He's
Iron
really
Giant,
good.
he was actually really good.
And the same part, Ryan. In
Yeah.
the short time he
100%.
had, really good. So I don't doubt that he's a good actor.
And
but
the
I think
dude
he's
can play a heck of a game of Dungeons and Dragons.
That's what I mean, and he's
Yeah.
I think he's an accomplished screenplay writer too.
Yeah.
So I mean, but he knows he's like, you know what? I can make a crap load of money doing this.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I just do this?
Yeah.
It's kind of like Johnny Depp playing a drunken pirate.
You mean Johnny Depp playing Johnny Depp?
Johnny vindicated Johnny Depp. Anyway, so yeah, so Momoa is good in Aquaman. I think he's you know, he is that Aquaman. He's not my Aquaman necessarily. He'll never be my Aquaman, but that's okay because he's that Aquaman.
Yeah.
And that's all I want.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you got Aquaman, you have Wonder Woman, was really good, and then you had Shazam, which was really good.
Shazam was surprisingly very good.
But again, I've heard people that don't like Shazam either, right? And I think that they're expecting Marvel-esque type of stuff from this, or they're expecting, I don't know what they're expecting.
Yeah.
But it was a solid movie about family.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about more about it later anyway.
Yeah.
So to date, with 7 movies, they've made $5.1 billion.
Yeah, Marvel?
No, DC.
DC.
Marvel has had 21 movies, and they have made $18.5 billion.
So are you saying that
now
that DC is actually being more successful?
No, because the average gross for the movies of Marvel is $885 million.
Okay.
The average gross for DC is $733.
That's still
kind of staggering because they've only had 7 movies, and their lowest movie
some
right
of them,
now.
Can you even call them movies?
First off, their lowest movie is Shazam because it hasn't been out long enough, right? Yeah. 2, their actual lowest movie right now is Justice League. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious! It's Justice League.
Yeah.
But look at their top grossing films. Aquaman.
Yeah.
Then you have Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
Stupidest title in the world. Almost as stupid as Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Get it together, DC.
That's a legit title.
Get it together.
I think they just like, you know what, just make weird titles.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 1984, also a bad title. Patty Jenkins said it's not a sequel.
Which it 100% is.
What does that even mean?
It's what does that even mean?
This isn't a podcast. Okay. So anyway, these movies, the movies where they're like Suicide Squad made 748.6, so the ensemble movies aren't making a lot of money.
Right.
It's the single movies that are making a lot of money, and it's name movies, right?
Yeah.
So I think they need to, because Man of Steel made a lot, but if they called it Superman, I bet it would have made a crap load of money.
Yeah.
And so I think they just need to keep putting out like
I honestly think
single movies.
Aquaman will probably still do better than Shazam. I don't think it's and the unfortunate side of it is like, so we'll talk about Shazam in a minute. Shazam was great. And everyone that I've talked to about Shazam, like I've told them like this movie is completely unexpected. The trailer doesn't show anything. And
no, it actually doesn't show a lot.
It really doesn't.
Pretty good. I was surprised.
And you get a lot out of the movie, but most people are like, okay, maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, they're still not sold. And I don't think it's because it's a Shazam movie. It's 100% because it's a DC film.
100%.
Yeah. I would say 100%, but it's pretty, DC is just, they've left a bad taste in people's mouths.
Well, and he's also like a B level
so is Thor
character. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
But by that time when Thor came out, Marvel had already made some really good movies based upon Iron Man, who wasn't actually the top character at that time either.
No.
Captain America, who was seen as like an old, it's a 1940s character, right?
Yeah.
So they did really well at getting, and even Guardians, you talk about Guardians, no, again.
None of these are top tier characters. I mean, honestly, outside of
Spider-Man and X-Men were their top tier characters, which are already sold off to other companies.
And it's like, how are you going to do a comic book movie without
your top tier characters?
Yeah.
Your best-selling books, you know, Fantastic Four. One of their best-selling books at the time didn't have the property. So they didn't have a lot of the properties to do it with. DC just had a bad. They started guns blazing with their big 3, and they just fell flat with lazy writing or getting Zack Snyder to do anything. Why would you get Zack Snyder to do anything? I have no idea. There's not been one movie I've liked of his other than 300 and Watchmen.
But both of those movies, I talked about this with somebody else. Both of those movies, there was source material from the reference from. Actually. Did I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
both of those movies, he had direct source material, and he, especially with 300, he could work with the actual creator.
Frank Miller was on set.
He could work with it, even though he could have technically worked with him during Batman vs Superman, whatever. Actually, I think Frank Miller was on set for that.
Why? Because it's based upon that.
300 is almost a shot-for-shot remake of the comic. Watchmen deviates a bit, but it deviates in the right ways. Yeah. Because, like, there's the pirate storyline in the Watchmen, and then the ending of Watchmen makes no sense. Like in the comic book, Like
for the 80s, I think it made sense.
Yeah, but it wouldn't
have worked. It wouldn't work now.
Completely bonkers.
It totally made a lot of sense now.
As like the movie ending makes sense.
Yes,
like it's very cohesive. It follows like a pattern in reality. Whereas like the comic book, it's like we're in reality. We're in reality, and then boom, alien on a city.
And it was like a fake alien.
Yeah,
it wasn't even real. Like,
it was what Ozymandias made. And then they dropped it on a city.
Like the movie did a much better job of like putting that together.
100%. Outside of that, I don't know what Zack Snyder has done well.
Nothing. His movies look beautiful though.
100%.
Say that.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what the future like, because you look at DC. What they have on the horizon is Joker, Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 1984, Aquaman 2, Cyborg. A lot of their people are leaving. Cyborg quit.
Well, he's a terrible actor.
I mean, is he? I don't know. I've never seen anything else, so I don't know.
I don't know. He wasn't good as Cyborg.
But that might not have been his fault.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay? Ezra Miller also out as Flash.
Yeah. Ben Affleck is back.
I think, but he's back. Yeah,
in Justice League 2.
Why? But I don't think they're going to make Justice League 2.
No.
I 100% think they're going to scrap it, because you just lost 2 people.
Yeah.
Do you think that Ben came back because they lost 2 people and they're trying to like do something? Because Cavill's not going to be in it either.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But he wants to come back.
But I don't think he's going to be in it. I just don't see the point of making the 2. Keep doing what they're doing. Put people in there. They should have had Cavill in Shazam.
Yeah.
Right? And we'll talk about
scheduling didn't work out.
Whatever. So the scheduling didn't work out. Get out of here. They could have made it happen.
Before we move on to Shazam,
no, we're not moving on.
I want to talk about Joker.
Yeah, because that's Joker's the next movie. Like, what do you mean? What do you want to talk about? It's gonna be great. It's gonna be.
Joker is not an anti-hero.
Are they making him an anti-hero?
Well, like from what I gather from the trailer, they're making him as kind of the response to the injustices brought about by the Gotham elite. Right? Like you have Gotham and their regular citizens, and then you have the Gotham elite, which involves like Thomas Wayne and his group of buddies, right? Like, and you have those that feel entitled to react to the people that maybe look different or not just like them, right? It speaks a lot into how everyday society is today, right? We have our elites, we have the people that are trying to be themselves, and the elite tend to react negatively against those who they don't feel comfortable with or don't understand. And so I feel like that's the kind of the story that they're telling with Joker. And the Arthur character that Joaquin Phoenix is playing, who is supposed to eventually become the Joker, I feel like he's in a way becoming this anti-hero against the Gotham elite, right? And here's my problem with that. The Joker's not an anti-hero. In any way.
No, he's not.
He's
definitely a villain.
The Joker is just a straight up
villain.
And if you're going to make the Joker into anti-hero, then do I really want 100% root for Batman? Like, they're supposed to balance each other out, right? Like, Batman is supposed to be ultimate good, and who makes the sacrifices for himself and for the city that no one else can make, right? And then you have the Joker, who just wants to cause mayhem. Like, I just rewatched Dark Knight with Heath Ledger's Joker, and again, that Joker is a psychopath, right? Like, he just wants to see the world burn apart, right? And I feel like that's like a perfect description of the Joker. It was character.
Really good. He has no rhyme or reason. There's no motivating
it's anarchy,
factor.
It's chaos.
It definitely is,
right?
Yeah.
And if you're gonna make him the response to the elite and make him in this anti-hero, it's not the Joker.
Because even if you think about it, the way that the Dark Knight was portraying the Joker is he's a response to Batman,
right?
Just typically,
it's the balance.
Straight to bounce.
It's the balance,
and I think that's the point. He is anti-foil to Batman. So the same problem with Venom, right? Except that Venom is an anti-hero in the comics, But the point of Venom, the origin of Venom, is what? A foil to Spider-Man. A direct foil because the suit was being worn by Spider-Man.
Right. The symbiote didn't like what it was doing.
Brock hated Peter Parker. That made a lot of sense and bore this villain. That's why he's such a good villain.
Right.
Because
who became an anti-hero.
Yeah. And that's fine. But the Joker should never become an anti-hero.
He should never start out as an anti-hero. He should never, like, I shouldn't feel sympathy for the Joker.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, but I get what you're saying.
As a human.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, there are times where you feel sympathetic. You can put good sympathy in it because sometimes you've done that before. But he's never a hero. He's never going to be the hero.
No,
he can be a sympathetic villain to a point. To
a very fine
point. And then he goes crazy. Like there's a point. Like you feel kind of bad for him. Then you're like, oh wait. No, he's just insane.
But then he rips the head off of a bunny, and then it has a knife on it. And then
he stabs
it's
somebody.
Poisoned. It's been dipped in poison, and then he stabs you with it.
And then smiles.
And then he smiles.
Yeah, I don't.
And then leaves you a gift card to Applebee's.
Maybe it'll be good. That's the real insult, right? That's the real pain right there. A gift card to Applebee's. When I tell you that someone gave me a gift card to Applebee's and I threw it in the trash, that's me with free food. I said, "Cool, trash." So just so you know, if you ever get me an Applebee's gift card, it's going in the trash.
But if you work for Applebee's and you're watching this and you can throw us some sponsorship, go ahead and hit
you give us money. I don't care about that, but I'm not going to eat your trashy food. Actually, I'm probably getting them better publicity than they've ever given themselves. So anyway, so the Birds of Prey, then Wonder Woman 1984, Aquaman 2 is going to come out. So they got a good slate of like single Birds of Prey. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be, and then they're going to make Suicide Squad 2.
You mean, no, that's not a sequel.
It's not. Okay, never mind.
The Suicide Squad.
Whatever. They pulled a Fast and Furious, which even though that was a sequel, but they named it the same. But as far as Marvel, the only thing after Avengers Endgame is Far From Home.
Far From Home.
I know there's going to be other stuff, but they haven't.
There's Black Widow. There's Black Panther 2.
But they haven't really like named it. They just like everybody's speculating that they're going to make these movies.
Well, the only thing that they've started saying that they're going to go for sure is Eternals, which they've said Angelina Jolie might be playing one of the characters.
Cool.
Yeah.
Good for
Which
her.
I think, honestly, that's stupid if Marvel does that because she's too much of a flight risk.
A flight risk?
Like she'll do one movie and then bounce.
Oh, but I don't think they can. It's a long game, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Get people in the seats. They don't need it. Anyway, so who knows?
Does she really sell tickets anymore?
Who knows who won? Yeah, of course. Angelina Jolie will always sell tickets, dude.
Does she?
Yes, 100%.
Does she?
I don't know. You guys let us know. Do you think that Angelina Jolie still sells tickets at the box office? Send us an email at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
Tweet us at IGTGS show.
Join the conversation. Conversation on Facebook. Join the conversation. Wow. Join the conversation, guys. Facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid.
You can Instagram us at itsgoingtogetstupid.
You can tube the U. I don't. That's okay. I'm gonna have to get something for that.
So we need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watchable hours in order to tell you what our YouTube channel is.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, because then we can't name it.
No, yeah, we can't name it. So right now we're
just search It's Going to Get
Stupid. We're
Stupid.
like youtube.com/some random number.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We can have an actual URL.
Yeah,
well, that's pretty cool. Anyway, the youtube.com/ find us at just search It's Going to Get Stupid.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah,
do something. Get on YouTube, like us, subscribe. Watch our videos.
Call us. Leave us a message.
At 281-698-7538.
Boom.
Still trying to figure out how to get the phone into the feed.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Feed the phone.
Okay.
Feed
the phone.
So the reason I brought this whole topic up is because Rick and I recently, the last movie that we watched was Shazam.
Yep.
So we've been talking about how great it is.
We are going to spoil this movie.
Yes.
We are going to spoil this movie. So if you haven't seen it, maybe come back next week. Go watch it.
No, just freaking listen to it and go watch it anyway because it doesn't matter. So the premise of this movie, if you've never heard of Shazam, Shazam is a 12-year-old boy, or 15?
14.
He's 14. He's a little boy, okay? And he gets the power from this wizard called Shazam. This sounds stupid, but don't worry about it.
Which Shazam is an acronym.
Shazam is an acronym. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, the strength of Hercules, the wisdom.
I'll look it up.
Nope. The strength of Hercules,
No, it's the wisdom of Solomon.
Oh, it's the person.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the anger of Ares. I don't know.
I'm going to look it up.
Anyway, so Shazam is a wizard, okay? And when the little boy, he gets the powers, so now he becomes an adult version of himself that's a superhero. So when he says the name Shazam, he turns into Shazam, or Captain Marvel is his actual name. Don't worry about that. And then when he says Shazam again, he turns back into Billy Batson, little boy. So this Billy Batson is still a troubled. You got it?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Go ahead.
The wisdom of Solomon, strength of Hercules, stamina of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury.
Cool.
Shazam.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. And those are all his powers.
Yeah.
Except he wasn't really that smart, so I don't know where the wisdom. Oh,
he was at the end,
but it's not wisdom like as in your intelligence.
Right.
It's to know what to do.
Right.
Anyway.
And he does at the end.
So Billy Batson is a troubled youth, just like in the comics.
Yeah.
And he goes to this group home and he tries to escape, and he never feels his mom left him, or he got lost from his mom when he was younger. So he's always separation anxiety. He can't stay in a foster home for long. He's always trying to find his mom, which I thought was a really cool part of this movie. And this group home he's in has a bunch of different foster kids who are all different. And then he runs away after beating up some bullies. He runs away into this train station, finds the Wizard Shazam, tells him, give him the power. I'm just going through this thing really quick. Anyway, he gets the power, and then he finds out that the bad guy, what's that dude's name?
Dr. Zavanna.
Yeah, Dr. Zavanna. So, which I thought was cool how they started with that.
Zavanna's story.
So go ahead and tell us Zavanna's story.
So Zavanna's story is he's a little kid. He's probably like 12 at this point in his storyline. And he's a boy that's interested in a lot of things, a lot of different like magic and things like that. He has a little magic 8-ball. It takes place back in the 70s,
I want to say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's in the car traveling with his father and his older brother, and they both kind of hate him. Like his dad is very like thinks that anything that Dr. Zavanna does, I don't know what his actual first name is.
Thomas?
I don't remember.
I'll find it.
Anyways, anything that the young Zavanna does is a waste of time and just very childish. So while he's like playing with the magic 8-ball, all the little symbols.
Thaddeus. How do you forget the dude named Thaddeus?
All the little symbols start showing up on the little like the thing that says like, try again next time, or outlook not so good. The little hieroglyphics start showing up on that, and he gets transported into the
Rock
of Eternity. Which there is Shazam with the 6 other thrones empty because all of his brothers and sisters have been killed in order to stop the 7 deadly sins from taking over the earth. That's kind of their whole goal. Like this organization's goal is to stop the 7 deadly sins from overtaking.
Shazam organization.
Yeah, whatever they're called. He goes into the storyline, and this was really neat how they kind of showed this, where they introduced Black Adam, and he tells Thaddeus that we did give our powers to a champion at one point, but he wanted them he wanted the powers for himself, and
so he took the powers.
Which is how Black Adam gets his abilities,
and then that's
so
when
he has the powers
sins.
of the Shazam. But he's been encased. Like, so Black Adam at this point is in a tomb.
Self-imposed though.
No, I think that's how the others died, if I'm not mistaken. The other wizards that were with Shazam, I believe that's how they died. Like they sacrificed themselves in order to encase him in a tomb.
I just thought they got wiped out by the 7 deadly sins.
No, so they were able to trap the 7 deadly sins and encase Black Adam in a tomb, because Dr. Zavanna ends up letting him out later, at least in the comics. In the New 52, when they rebooted it, Zavanna is the one that lets Black Adam out. While Thaddeus, as a child, is so basically Shazam is, he's kind of testing him, and there's this little floating orb there that gives him the ability to basically become a host for the 7 deadly sins, and then the sins start like tempting him, basically like telling him that Shazam is a liar. He doesn't know what he's like, his powers are weak, but ours are stronger. And the boy ends up basically walking towards the little orb, and in a very gruesome clip, the orb flies into his eye and destroys his other eye, and the orb is now in his face.
As a boy?
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen when he was a kid.
No, that's right.
That's
what
happens later.
Yeah.
He appears as a boy.
So, I'm sorry. I'm mixing this up.
What are you talking about? That didn't happen.
He starts walking towards the orb, and Shazam like freaks out and sends him out of
He hits him with a bolt of magic.
Sends him out of the Rock of Eternity.
You'll never. And Shazam. Okay, so first off, the Shazam is played by.
I totally got that mixed up.
Is Jimon Hansu,
who also plays.
He's in 2 DC movies. Number 1, he's Shazam in this movie, and he's the Fishmonger King that gets killed in Aquaman.
Yeah.
But he's also in the MCU, so he's just like everywhere, man. He's awesome.
He'll be the bridge for DC versus Marvel.
No, that's stupid. He's really good at playing this wizard.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he not only knocks him away with his magic, but he basically tells him like, you're never ever going to come back. You're never going to do this.
Yeah.
Like you're done, bro. Like, but he says it was like really mean, and I was like, oh my gosh.
It was almost like his dad saying it to him.
It was, and I think that's what happened. So he gets sent back to the car,
and then they get into a car wreck.
And then he wishes that his dad would die because his dad's talking to him all crazy. And they get in a car accident, and I thought his dad died. I was like, oh, cool, okay, cool, his dad died.
Yeah.
And then it goes to Billy Batson and his story, and then come to find out his dad didn't die. So Mark, the Thaddeus Sivana, had this whole time has been trying to get back to the Rock of Eternity. He spent his whole life trying to figure this out. He's got all these people because since Shazam's getting weaker and he's the last line of defense for these 7 deadly sins, if he dies or something happens to him, they'll be let out. Right. And so he just starts searching the world all these years. So all these people have been to the Rock of Eternity, and all of them have not been deemed worthy.
Yeah, and he basically starts finding all these people and starts tracking them down, and they start interviewing them he's basically trying to find the right order for the symbols, the hieroglyphics that he saw that took him to the Rock of Eternity. But all these people think that they've been abducted by aliens.
And so, and this one scientist she thinks it's like a mass hallucination kind of thing. And so one of the ladies actually has a videotape on her phone and I'm like, why didn't more people videotape this? Anyway, has a videotape of the symbols on her alarm clock. And so he figures out the symbols, he writes them on a door, and then that research lady touches the door and disintegrated. And so the door opens for him or something. So he goes in there, he confronts Shazam at the Rock of Eternity, he finally made it back, and he grabs the orb, and then what Rick said, it shoots into his eye, destroys his other eye, and then they all go into that orb, and Shazam, he just leaves him there. Didn't he just leave him there? Why didn't he do anything else? It's kind of weird.
I forget why.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just kill him?
I don't know. He just left him to die and just walked out and said, peace. Peaced out. And so then Shazam's desperate, and he's like, go find somebody right now.
Yeah.
Like, you need to find somebody. And so he finds Billy Batson. And when Billy comes in, he's not pure of heart.
No, not at all.
I mean, I guess he is in a sense, but he's just not. He's like, at this point, look, I can't even test you. You just have to take the power. And he
he couldn't.
Yeah, he couldn't test him anymore because the orb's gone. And so he just gives the power to Billy. And Billy says, say my name. It's the same clip from the thing. He says it, turns into Shazam. It's Zachary Levi.
Yeah.
And then he gets freaked out and teleports out of there.
Yeah, he says, I want to get out of here.
I want to get out of there.
Yeah.
And he where did he go to?
He
went back to the subway.
Yeah.
And then he's walking through the subway, and people are looking at him like, what is going on? Dressed in all because he's dressed in those tights.
Captain Sparkle Fingers.
Yeah, Captain Sparkle Fingers. And so then he goes to find his new foster brother, because they were talking about superhero stuff before, and they basically do a Big. It's just like Big, right? Trying to figure out his powers.
Yeah.
And they're trying to see, what do you do? And they're videotaping it and all this stuff, and they're skipping school. All this stuff's happening. And they bond throughout all this, but then he starts, just like Tom Hanks, they did a really good job of making this like Big.
Yeah.
Because he starts like, look, I'm a superhero. I don't even have to go to school anymore. I don't care about none of this. He spends more time as Shazam than he does as Billy.
Yeah.
And he starts like doing stuff, like doing publicity stunts and stuff for getting money and all this. Having people take photos and selfies and all this. And then he almost he's shooting lightning.
Yeah.
Right? Because he figured out he'd shoot lightning from his fingers.
He's doing a little lightning show.
Yeah. And he like makes a bus. He explodes the tire, makes the bus go careening off of an overpass.
Yeah.
And he has to save it. And so he saves the day, and he gets an even bigger head about saving the day. But he just hasn't really learned, like, I'm supposed to be a hero and use these powers for good. And of course, his foster brother, who is disabled, is like, man, I wish I had those powers. I wish I could walk, period.
Yeah.
So it's a really good dynamic going on there. And then basically the 7 Deadly Sins tell Sivana, is like, hey, look, you got to go fight the champion now.
Right.
So they fight.
Yeah, because he's stronger. And so the fight is actually pretty decent. Like the first time Sivana and Shazam meet, it's pretty decent because Shazam still doesn't know how to use his powers. He's learning little bits at a time. There's a lot of flying through buildings and a lot of...
we didn't even know he could fly until he does the same exact thing that Captain Marvel did.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny that he was falling down and he stops right at the thing? But the thing is, if he would have hit the ground, it probably would have been fine. If she would have hit the ground, I don't know.
Probably would have been
She
dead.
probably would have been fine too. I don't know. She's impervious. Isn't she? I have no idea. Anyway, point being is it looked cooler when he did it than when she did it. I don't know why.
Also less CG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so they get into a fight, and so now he kind of runs away from Sivana, changes back.
Yeah. He runs away from his powers, very much like Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 2.
He says, "I'm done with this power stuff." And but then of course his family gets threatened. His new family, who he doesn't care about, but he finds out he secretly does care about them.
Of course he does.
Of course, I knew, and this was all like obviously this is going to happen. It's fine.
Yeah.
And so it comes down to this one big showdown. And there's other stuff that we miss, like Sivana goes and kills his dad, and does all this other stuff. And
so I will say, like, the monsters, the characters that they did for the 7 Deadly Sins were quite terrifying.
They were super terrifying, and I'm watching this. I'm like, I'm glad I didn't bring any children to this,
because Luca really wanted to see it, and I was like, okay, like maybe we can, because
even Audrey 11, they're so terrifying.
Like it's kind of kid oriented, but then as soon as like the 7 Deadly Sins show up, and when we said earlier, like the trailer doesn't show half of the movie,
it doesn't,
which is unique, right? The monsters in 7 Deadly Sins are like, they're nowhere near. Like, you see the statues of them in the Stone of Eternity. Nowhere near the set.
They're
but like what they actually look like,
they're so creepy.
So creepy. They were terrifying.
They were pretty,
and the way they like react, like the way like their actions and everything. Yeah. Like there's that scene where in the boardroom when Dr. Sivana confronts his father, he goes to his dad's corporation and interrupts a board meeting, and then
kind of like Dogma.
Yeah. And unleashes 6 of the 7 Deadly Sins, because you later find out that envy always stays in Sivana for the majority of the time. And so they're just kind of released in the boardroom, and then they just start tearing people apart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And you start, like, you don't see, like, full-on gore, but, like, you see people get thrown up against glass, like, frosted glass doors.
Because it's PG-13, so they're not showing you a lot of graphic stuff, but it's still, for me, it was pretty jarring for a kids, like, seemingly kids movie. And then to see those monsters, super grotesque and super, like, well done, though. I mean, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
And so the big showdown happens at, like, a Wonderland park, kind of, they're having a winter Wonderland carnival thing. And at one point he's getting beat pretty bad by Sivana, and then they release all the 7 Deadly Sins. He releases all of them except one.
Yeah.
And they're chasing after his family who came with him, Billy Batson's family, and so they're running around trying to do interference. Eventually he realizes that he needs to give his power to his siblings,
or that he has the ability to do it.
Yeah.
This is where the wisdom of Solomon kicks in.
So he, instead of giving his power to Sivana, he gives his power to his siblings, and they all become Shazams.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. When that happened, like a whole theater clapped and all that. I thought it was a really interesting.
You get the Shazam family. Yeah. It was awesome.
So the Shazam family, and so they're all, and they were great. I mean, that whole sequence was amazingly done well. Like I don't even want to explain it because it was done very well.
Yeah.
And they each had their own distinct personalities, and they were hilarious. And it was the kids' like the adults that were playing them, it was the kids.
Yeah, it was 100% in line. Like
so good.
The transition between the kid actors and the superhero actors was perfect.
Yeah.
And good for Adam Brody for getting brought in as the disabled kid. What was his name?
Freddy.
As Freddy's kind of avatar for the superhero. He was originally supposed to play the Flash.
Yeah, he was. That's right.
Yeah. Instead of Ezra Miller. This is way back before like Justice League was. This was a long time ago.
Was it the Superman?
Yeah, the
Superman Return or the
yeah.
Was it they were doing something?
It was some. It wasn't this form of the DCEU, but it was before like the DCEU like fully started.
Yeah, because they're gonna have somebody else's. They were talking about they came on set. I think it was Superman. I want to say it was that Superman Lives or whatever.
It might have been. But Adam Brody, obviously that didn't happen, and so like he got to come back and kind of relive that whole superhero kind of bit. So
they're all fighting the 7 Deadly Sins, and Shazam, again using the wisdom, realizes that there's one that hasn't come out yet, and that when they're all out, Sylvana's helpless.
Right, he's just a human
being, and so he tricks and goads envy into coming out by taunting him basically.
Yeah.
And then they're able to defeat everybody, and they all win. Boo, 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 boo. And then at the end of it, So everybody wins. He now has a family. Superman shows up. So like basically his whole thing was he was supposed to show up for lunch with Freddy one day, and he skipped out on him because he's too good for him. So at the end he shows up as Shazam, and all the kids in school are like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And then he goes, I brought a friend, and then Superman shows up. But you don't see Superman because it's not Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
It's some other dude, but you see the S in the chest, and it's all amazing. So I thought that was really cool. Well done. And then the movie ends. And then you get your little mid-credit scene, which is Mr. Mind. Mr. Mind, which is... See, here's the problem with Shazam. When you explain any of this to anybody, they're like, what?
Yeah.
He's a talking caterpillar.
With a little voice box.
With a little voice box.
On
He
his
doesn't even
chest.
talk. And he has like sonic powers. And you see him the whole time in the Rock of Eternity. So
he's a psychic caterpillar.
A psychic caterpillar, y'all.
He's a really big bad. Like he is definitely a good villain. He controls a lot of people in the comics. But this alludes to more of bringing more of the magic realms into play into the DC universe. And I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I think, if Marvel's going to go full on space, I think this gives DC.
Well, DC has a lot of magic and supernatural stuff to it that they don't ever talk about.
You get characters like Zatanna.
Well, you get Justice League Dark. Man, that would be really cool. Also, Superman is affected by magic. He's vulnerable to magic. So then you have a good foil for Superman, because right now you don't. You just don't have anything good. So I think it's cool, man. I thought Shazam was great. I mean, but you don't even have to bring them all. You don't even have to bring them all together. Because I'm excited about Black Adam. I know he's going to come in the next movie.
So I had no idea that The Rock actually produced Shazam.
Oh, really? Did
He's one of the producers.
Oh, okay, because I knew he was excited, and he was going to be. They were going to have him as the villain. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't actually have him as the villain.
He got on Instagram and explained it. Of course, I follow The Rock on Instagram. He got on Instagram and he was very thankful for the reaction that it's gotten. Originally, what they were going to do is they wanted. So he's on board to do Black Adam. It's his dream. Like, he's wanted to do this for a long time, which is why he's producing Shazam and the Black Adam movie. And I think whatever else comes in between that with this.
Oh, that's right, because he's not gonna be necessarily his appearance isn't gonna be in Shazam 2, the first appearance. He's gonna have
his own movie. And so what they were originally wanting to do was bring Black Adam in first. And because Black Adam does have his powers already, and they were gonna introduce that, and they're like, no, The Rock said, like, no, this isn't working right. Like, we need to bring Shazam in, because they're very much a counterbalance to each other. And so originally Shazam, this movie was going to have Black Adam's origin, Dr. Zavanna's origin, and Shazam's origin all at once. I'm glad they didn't do that. And again, they were like, no, this is too much of a movie. They wanted to do it right, so they brought Shazam. They did Shazam first, and then they're going to do Black Adam, and connect the two together. So I think we're going to get a Black Adam movie with Shazam in it.
Okay, so kind of like a Civil War-ish kind of Winter Soldier kind of stuff. That's cool.
And so I think there's a good roadmap for it. I think they understand what they're doing and how to treat this character. Because honestly, Zachary Levi did a fantastic job.
He did a really
good job. Trying to embody like how it would be to be a 14-year-old boy
with superpowers
who gets given superpowers, and how that translates to being like all of a sudden being in an adult body. I thought he did a fantastic job.
I like when they go buy beer.
Yeah.
And they try it.
Your
and
finest
like,
beer,
gross.
please.
Your finest beer, please.
Yeah.
And he goes and gets the beer, and then he drinks it, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then they come out with all that junk food.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, man.
I thought he did a great job doing that. And honestly, like, I was a little hesitant at first. I love Zachary Levi. I think he was great in Chuck. He's been good I thought he was good as Fandral in the Thor in Thor 2, and for his 2 minutes of Thor 3, which he has no lines in.
Yeah, that was great.
And so I was excited to see him, but I didn't know how they were going to do this. Obviously, the suit looked crazy when it was not in the movie, but when you see it in the movie, it makes complete sense.
Yeah,
it makes complete sense. And the way they describe it is Shazam is the perfect embodiment of their champion, right? So it's Billy Batson at true, like, kind of perfection,
at his top potential,
at his highest potential, right? As strong as he can be, as fast as he can be, as intelligent as he can be, or as wise as he can be. All these things, like, it is that perfection. So Zachary Levi did bulk up, but obviously there's some padding in the suit. But in the movie, it looks fine. Like, it's not distracting.
Everybody looked really good. I mean, they did a really well job with everything.
Yeah.
Really well job. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, no, it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, because I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be bad. If anybody that has heard me talk about this movie, it's not that I thought it was gonna be bad. I just didn't think it was gonna be this good.
Yeah.
So I was surprised, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to what else. See, it's turned me around a little bit on DC because I was like totally DC's crap. I never want to see anything. I hated the Aquaman movie before it came out.
Yeah.
But then I watched it and I was like, okay, this is not so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, this movie's not so bad. Okay, what are they going to do next? Because I liked Wonder Woman, but I don't know if I actually liked Wonder Woman as much as I thought I liked Wonder Woman, or if I just liked the fact that it was a female superhero and
it was done well.
It was done well, you know. But it was, again, am I basing it? I've talked about this before. Am I basing it off of past DC stuff?
Yeah.
And I think with these movies, I'm not based on past DC stuff. I'm just saying, hey, this is a pretty good movie on its own. Like, just comparing it to other movies in general and what they've done with it. So, yeah, no, I'm looking forward to what DC is going to put out. I'm looking forward to what Marvel is going to put out.
Yeah, I just don't really care about the Eternals. They're going to have to do a lot of work in order to get me to care about the Eternals. And if that's going to be the team that they're going to rely on to
I doubt it. There's
together,
no way they're going to do that.
They're going to have to do a lot of work because it sounds like they're moving all the current Avengers right now into Disney Plus, into spin-off shows. And I'm not, you're removing a lot of the backbone of what the MCU is right now, and they're going to shift gears. It has me hesitant, but right now I'm still into it, but I think DC's they've done well to set themselves up for success.
Yeah.
So
cool, man. Yeah. Oh, that was good. Shazam. So go see Shazam. It was great.
Go see Shazam. Even though we spoiled it, we still left a lot out.
Yeah,
go see it.
Go see it.
It's really fun.
Go see it again.
It deserves your money. It was really well thought out and really well produced.
Yeah. So, let us know. Hey, what do you think? Is DC winning this battle, or are they going to turn the tide, or is Marvel gonna just keep pounding away with these movies that are just really good movies?
Yeah.
So much so that I didn't even like Captain Marvel, which I'll tell you again, it was not a bad film by any stretch of the imagination.
It just wasn't great.
It just
it was good. It wasn't
comparing
great.
it to other now I don't even compare it to other movies anymore. I definitely don't compare it to any DC stuff.
Yeah.
I just compare it to other Marvel movies, and that's like its own little cosmosphere of movies. And it's like, yeah, but that's even the worst Marvel movie is still better than some other.
Would it have
movies.
benefited to come out before Infinity War?
No, it's nothing to do
or
with placement.
way before.
The movie could have been anywhere. I have fundamental problems with the movie. Period.
100%.
Yeah, so it's not about like I've seen other things, or because even when I don't compare Captain Marvel to everything else, there's just so much that I wish it had done this, and so it suffers from the same thing Doctor Strange suffered for me, even but a little bit more. And I know that she's going to be different in Infinity Endgame. I know it's going to be totally different. I'm going to like her character. I'm going to like Captain Marvel, and everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you have any ideas about what's going to happen in the future, or if you wanted to talk about something we missed in Shazam or something you liked about Shazam, you can email us at itsgoingtogetstupid@gmail.com.
You can find us on Twitter at IGTGS Show.
You can hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/itsgoingtogetstupid.
You can send random pictures to us at It's Going to Get Stupid on Instagram.
You can watch a replay of this video YouTube. I will tell you this. It doesn't just have what we have on the podcast, because there's a lot of pre-show stuff that you don't ever get to hear or see. But if you go watch on YouTube, you'll get to see it all. Some of it's boring about me clicking on my computer. Some of it's random stuff we say that we probably should have edited out, but it's all there for you to hear at youtube.com and just search It's Going to Get Stupid.
Yeah. Or leave us a voicemail at 281-698-7538.
Awesome. Y'all have a good week, and we'll see you next week.